Hi everyone, Diana Rankin here. Welcome. I'm so glad you've all come today. This is week 31 of the year 2019. It is the week of July 28th to August the 3rd. And we are going to get our messages from Phillip and my spirit guide. And we're going to also get I'm going to read you the conversation he and I had about love. And I will also give you one of the processes, or talk to you a little bit about one of the processes in one of my books, Joy, which is 52 ways to create happiness and joy in your life. And of course, we will get a message from this book, which is another one of my books that Philip wrote, which is the Book of Answers by Philip, and each page is a different message. And for those of you who are guessing with me, using your intuition, left page, right page, and then you're telling me, I knew it was left and you said left. Well, congratulations, you're using your intuition. Good for you. So we're going to get that in a minute. If you're new to this page or this video, this YouTube channel, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for telling your friends. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for your comments. And most of all, thank you for loving yourselves enough to be here and loving each other and the world, because that's what this channel really is about, is spreading love in the world, and why that's so important. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Not earlier this week, someone asked me, how do you stay in love? How do you love the world so much with so much evil going on? Well, I happened to be outside when that person and I were talking, and I was just enjoying the nature. I mean, that was the easiest answer of all, is how can you not see the beauty in the world? And if you see the beauty in the world, how can you not experience the love that the world truly is? Because how fortunate are we that we're able to see the beauty of the world. I feel so blessed that I'm out in a rural area, and so I look one direction and I can see forever. I look another direction and I see the forest. I look another direction and I see fields. The wheat fields were just cut, but the ground is still golden. And I look another direction and I see cows together and new calves. I look another direction and I see a doe and her new baby fawn. So how can you not feel love when you see that? I want to also emphasize that I don't always stay in love, unfortunately. I know anger, I know grief, I know every emotion there is. I'm human, and that's what we're doing here. You might hear one of the kitties, Sophia, the goddess kitty, is making herself known, so you might hear her talking. Daisy, by the way, is sleeping right now, so I didn't want to disturb her. Now, some other ways that we can stay in love is recognize that evil is not the person. Evil is the act. I don't believe we are both spiritual. We are spirit and we are human. And being both spirit and human, that human side of us can commit acts that the rest of us judge as evil. But at the same time, when we judge that person, we have no idea of that person's soul journey. So we can't judge the person. We can say this is an evil act and work to create compassion, work to create kindness, work to create respect, civility in our world. Yes, we should work to create those in our world. And yes, there are some people who create these acts, but the person is still a spiritual being, not an evil being. So I see the difference there. And quite frankly, a long time ago, I just kind of said, you know what, it's more fun to be happy. It's more fun to be joyful. I just enjoy life more if I'm happy. So to be happy, I have to live in a space of love as much as I can. So when I get into the non-life affirming emotions, I experience them and then I bring myself back to a place of love. And so what I wanted to talk to Philip about for you, and for all of us is, let's talk about love. Philip, what is it? Because in the culture that I'm in the U.S. culture, we think of love in a very romantic way. And we know it's much more powerful than that. We know it's much bigger than the romantic love. So let's talk about love. And I'm going to read you what Philip said in just a moment. But I want to first of all tell you thank you again for your compliments last week. Someone said, you're all dressed up. Where are you going? Or you look so lovely. Where are you going? And I thank you for the compliment. And I was going off to a party with friends from high school. We're having a reunion coming up, but this group gets together every so often, and whenever I can go and be with them, I do, and just have a good time and talk about old times and new times in the world today. And sometimes even what we need to make better in our world. And so that was a fun thing. Today I'm off to see a partner about my instinct seminars. Instinct seminars I do for educators, for medical people, for businesses, for police departments. It is how to develop that instinct for service and for safety. So I get a little dressed up for that. Anyway, here is what I want to read you from Philip's words. And thank you for asking me to just read Philip's words, because that really does make it easier for me, and I appreciate it. So thank you. Okay. This week, expect major changes to take place in the individual's life, excuse me, and in the collective. Changes may seem to come about rapidly, but they have actually been in the making for some time. We often only see the signs in hindsight, as they are often subtle. It is time to set the intentions of what one wishes to accomplish. Too often humans allow life to pass through them without the realization of their power to create. It is with clear intention and follow-through that the universe is able to know what to provide for the human. If the intention is not clear, the human will be given that which comes, what may. Which comes what may. We need to make our intentions clear, don't we? Or we're just going to get whatever. Once the intention is clear, then you must clear away the debris that clutters the intention's outcome. The next step is to work toward that which is needed to fulfill the intention. For example, let's say the intention is to create a relationship. Then the emotions must be love to attract love. If emotions are caught in fear, how can you expect to attract love? If the intention is to attract money, then one must let go of the emotions that keep the human trapped in poverty, and then become loving of how one attracts money. To love one's work attracts prosperity. I'm going to interject here because that was one of the other things I told the person who asked me, how do you stay in love? And I said, look what I get to do every day. I get to speak to people every day. I get to write words of wonder. I love what I do, and I am so blessed and grateful to be able to do it. How can I not stay in love? Philip went on then to say, the intention created through emotion, followed through with love, creates the life. Let me repeat that. The intention created through emotion, followed through with love, creates the life. Each human is creating their life this way, and in turn creating the world. The guiding principle in creating is love. By living love, you create from the higher self. As humans are both spiritual and human beings, it is always wise to create from the spiritual self, and then live this through the human experience. The spirit self will always create through love, regardless of the situation. This is not to say all experiences will be pleasant to the human. The spirit may ask the human to take on tasks that one may judge as difficult, even painful at times. However, if one lives in a state of love, a greater understanding is given that allows one to understand the situation. In understanding, there is acceptance. In acceptance, there is love. How does one live love? Well, this is a matter of choice. You must choose to live from the greater understanding of the spirit self rather than just from the human self. This will allow the human experiences to be greater as well as more loving. Beauty will be within you as well as around you. Your heart will be joyful and you will understand the bigger story. How does one begin to allow the spirit self to live through and guide the human self? Intention followed by cleansing and then action. Let the intention to be to live in love. Cleanse away all that which is unlike love and live that which is love. For the human, this is not an easy task. It is, however, a worthwhile one. How do we live in love? Intention followed by cleansing and then action. Well, my friends, one of the ways that we do that is I picked out week 50 in this book, and I just kind of paraphrase it for you because it's pages of print. So this is one of my books that gives you 52 stories and processes to live in a happy place. And this is week 50, and it's quiet time. And it's just saying spend about 10 minutes a day. It talks about why you should be quiet in our hectic world. And then it says spend about 10 minutes a day in quiet, whether it's walking in nature, in a hot bath, in meditation, but just that 10 minutes a day will help renew your spirit. When we renew our spirit, we're better able to live through bring our spiritual self into our human self and live the spirit through the human. That's how we do it. Shall we see what our message is? Think left page or right page, and we just open or flip through, however you want to do it, and it will just get our message. I'm hearing right page. You know, I always give you the wisdom from both pages, but this is our message is on the right page. So if you thought right, you got it right. All right, here's our message. If you live today to its fullest, you will always have warm memories of yesterday and tomorrow to look forward to. Are we talking about living in love here? I think so. If you live today to its fullest, you will always have warm memories of yesterday and a tomorrow to look forward to. On the other side, on the left side, it says every magician must work hard to learn magic tricks. Every magician must work hard to learn magic tricks. My friends, you know, we think life should be easy. And when I'm talking to groups, I often ask, how many of you have it written on your birth certificate, this one shall have an easy life? And believe me, no one raises their hands. And the other thing I say a lot is when you look in the mirror and you look back, no one looks back at you. If you look in the mirror, nobody looks back. Well, then you're done. As long as somebody's looking back at you, as long as you're seeing your reflection in the mirror, otherwise, you have work to do. That's part of the human life. It's part of its joy. It's also part of its difficulties. So, my friend, bring the joy into your life as much as you can. And thank you for bringing love into our life. Thank you for spreading love. Thank you for living as much love in your life as you can. Keep developing that instinct, that intuition. Keep believing in yourself, because I believe in you. I love you. Daisy and the kitties love you. And we thank you so much for the love that you give to us. Until we meet again, I love you.